Hey, how's it going, Ash? Hey, welcome to my podcast, our podcast we're doing today. I'm Sabrina Shaulis, and
I'm Ashley Bolden. Let's go.
Yeah. So, but first I want to talk about just a little bit on how we met. You contacted me you found me on Google, which was amazing.
Like a business card.
Oh, a business card. Okay.
Yeah, I think I was walking around downtown, maybe. No,
yeah.
I think I did find you on Google.
I think you found me on Google.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
been a long time.
Anyways, so I was life coaching her for, I don't know, a little over 9 months, something like that.
Yeah.
But really, you were life coaching me too at the same time.
Yeah.
So, so you know, I think we all need some motivation and some help through life, and it's great to find friends and people that will, you know, help bring us along, lift us up when we need lifted up and stuff. And so that's the intent of my podcast here, is just to help my friends just live an elevated life and find peace and joy. So the topic of this podcast is how to find peace and joy in a stressed out world. Yeah, for lack of a better name, I mean, it's okay, but are we living in seemingly stressed out times?
Well, do you feel stressed out?
That's why I said seemingly, you know, because it can seem very stressful.
Sure.
But I don't think it has to be.
No.
I know it doesn't have to be. So that is why I wanted to do this podcast on stress, because we don't have to be stressed. And it's hard not to, because everything around us seems very stressful. The news, you know, people outside.
Just avoid it. You should turn it off.
Yeah. So there's going to be lots of helpful tips in here. There's going to be a lot of helpful tips in here on what we can do. So, but first, I don't have a name for my podcast, and I've been having a little bit of a struggle coming up with one. So I have like 3 names that I'm considering, and I thought maybe you all could help me out there too. If you wanted to leave a comment in one of the names you like that I said, or Ashley, or one you can think of on your own. So I have heavily meditated. What did you say about that earlier, Ashley?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Okay, no, she didn't say anything. Okay, never mind. That was off record. That was off record.
It was off record.
Mindful moments.
Yeah, mindful moments.
Because it's all about learning how to be mindful to me. So, and I'm going to explain that later. And then I have the joyful journey. Just some ideas. Do you have any off the top of your head? I know you weren't prepared.
No, I don't have any. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go for a walk.
And then you'll come up with one.
I'll send you some.
Okay, maybe you could video it.
You know, we could probably ask ChatGPT. Did you ask ChatGPT?
I did.
You did? That's what you know what? Those were ChatGPT's suggestions. Oh man.
They are based on my prompts.
Okay.
So it knew what I was thinking. So anyways.
Yeah, I did.
So put in comments if you have a good name for a podcast that teaches about how to control our emotions and live joyfully in this world, and how to reach our goals and all that fun jazz. Anyways, so back to the topic, how to find peace and joy in a stressed out world.
Yeah, there's a lot of sources of stress. I mean,
What? Yeah.
it's all kinds, right?
Yeah.
Family, kids. The world just keeps going.
Yeah. So I think we all know what stress is really well, and we all have times of joy and peace. But what do you think the difference is between peace and joy?
Gosh. You know, I think, to me, if I just sort of threw something out there, I feel like joy has like a happiness level, and I feel like peace is a little bit more neutral.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Like, when I think about peace, I don't think about smiling. Do you think about smiling?
No. And so I think the same way. Like, to me, you can have peace even when your world's not joyful.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
it's a little bit more flexible.
Yeah. And joy and happiness seem the same, but I think they're different. Happiness is super fleeting. Joy, I guess you can have joy in your trials, knowing that you're going to grow from them and something good's going to come out of it. And you just, that's how we grow stronger. So I guess we can have joy in our trials.
Yeah, joy is a bit bubbly. So to me, it feels like a little bit like
joy to the world.
Yeah, like there's like a little like a bubbliness, like a higher level. I feel like peace. It's a little bit weird though, right? Because peace is a higher frequency, isn't it?
I think so. And it's all about the energy. But that's for another topic. That's a huge topic. Energy.
Well, we gotta figure out how to build that.
Yeah. So, and the opposite of peace and joy would it be stress?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's probably not stress.
Well, I know
it's something funny, like weird. Don't you think? Like, I don't know. The opposite of joy is probably like disconnection or something.
Maybe.
Or,
That's
or maybe the opposite of peace is disconnection.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think you're onto that, because when we're disconnected, we're not realizing that we're all one. Right.
Like there's not that, right? Because like it's like let's see. Like if you were to use stress as a trigger, right? And you get triggered, and then you get disconnected, right? Like stress almost like
it can isolate you from people for sure, from your life,
yourself, dude.
Yeah, and from yourself.
This is it, man.
Yeah,
from yourself.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah.
Why do you think? Well, why do you think? I don't know. People feel overwhelmed and stressed.
Well, I think there's a lot in the world right now that is entraining us to feel fear and anxiety and stress. We have, just everywhere. If we turn on the TV, it's all negative. I mean, unless you search really hard for the positive stuff. It's a lot of doom. There's uncertainty in the world. People are divided right now.
But that's like almost not even really like, that's like a bit symptomatic, isn't it? Because what's really happening, it's like people are undisciplined in their mind.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're not doing meditation.
Yeah.
They're
So they're being overcome by all the external stressors in life.
Yeah, like it doesn't take much, right? Like if you're like already undisciplined in your thought, right, it doesn't really take much to kind of like push you over into like whatever.
Hence the purpose of this podcast is we want to share with you some ways to have that disciplined mind. So I like to think of that I'm brainwashing myself, because if I don't, someone else is going to. And brainwashing isn't a bad thing. It's like training my brain to do what I want it to do, not what social media wants it to do, not what the news wants it to do. So I like to train my brain the way and to do what I want it to do. So that's right. That brings us into first brings us into mindfulness practices.
Yeah, mindfulness and like the tools, right? Because it's like you can experience tragedy, right? But you could still have a hold of yourself. Yeah, right? So it's kind of like you gotta like train that.
You have to hang on.
To hold on to yourself, right?
Yeah.
You get lost.
Yeah. And then I know the more that I go through trials and see that I come out to the other side, the easier it is to trust that if I hang on, I'm going to get through it and just not totally lose my shit.
Or you could lose it, but
not totally.
Be able to come back. Though, right? Like,
you don't want to totally lose it.
You could get lost in it, right? Like it's very easy, right, to like watch a show and get overwhelmed and like stressed.
Yep.
Right, but now how do you get yourself back?
Yeah.
And get yourself back into the joy or peace or whatever, the observer.
Yeah.
Like just.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that will, if you want to learn how to unstress yourself and have that peace and joy, I think there's a lot of things that you can do. Two things: you can cut things out and you can put things into your life. So yeah, so like I know there's things that cause stress for sure.
Yes.
And things like watching too much of the news.
Yeah, dude, I love this. Because, like, sometimes you just need to hide it.
Yeah, how does it really affect me, you know?
Yeah, like, make it invisible.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not like I like to put my head in the sand.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do I need to know that's going to impact my world, my sphere of influence today? And it's usually not all the dredges of what happens to other people in their life that the news reports. So
yeah, but what do you need to know? What do you need to know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what? You know, the problem with news is a lot of times it's not in your area of control. Like, there's nothing you can do about seals in
that's right.
Antarctica.
Yeah, yeah. So
you know, so like subjecting yourself to the torture is really just training yourself to be helpless. True.
I never thought of it like that. I just thought about how negative of a message it is, but it's a feeling of helplessness when the whole world's falling apart. It's always been falling apart. We just didn't know because we weren't so connected.
Yeah, no, we weren't so connected. But now, right? Like you know, you can kind of fall apart at the micro level. Like, you know, you might be able to do something in your local community or like in your house, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, I see something stressed out, or I could like, you know, help a partner, right? But something that's happening on the other side of the globe. I mean, my God, like it really does.
Yeah.
It just creates the situation of
helplessness.
And then it's like, man, have you seen those studies where it's like they trained those animals, they like electroshocked them.
Yeah.
And then they just stay in the cage.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the news is, man. You just stay in your cage now.
Stay in your cage.
Yeah, so now you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You can't even like help yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're too afraid to go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one thing, was, you know, cutting out your news.
Yeah.
Cutting out things like your diet, sugar and caffeine can cause stress. So these are just little things you can like notice, okay, maybe I have that too much in my life, too much news, maybe I got too much sugar, caffeine, and saturated fats can cause stress in your body because your body's fighting off things that it doesn't like in it. What else? We have
hydration.
Yep.
You drink enough water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lack of sleep can cause stress.
Yeah, it's just like the lack of sleep makes it like harder to get yourself back, right? Because once you're kind of like life kind of whacks you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You're like, man, how do I get back to something?
I know.
Too tired or
I know I can't do anything when I'm tired. I'm getting cranky. Like yeah.
Yeah, you get out of control, right? Like now you're not like, you know, practicing that disciplined space.
Yeah, yeah. And so when we're stressed, we're in the parasympathetic mode.
Yeah.
And is it the parasympathetic or the sympathetic mode? Sympathetic mode. Sorry, I know something was wrong there. The fight, flight, or freeze mode, and stress is the #1 cause of disease because of that. Because all the chemicals that get released in our body, and our body's in fight, flight, or freeze, so it does not use any energy to restore and repair. So that's why we get disease, and we're always in the stressful state. It's crazy. Or we can be in the other state where we're calm. That will lower our heart rates. That'll bring feelings of happiness. That'll help with our sleep. All sorts of good things happen to our health and our mind and our bodies when we're calm too. So it's important.
Definitely.
Yeah, so those are some of the things you can cut out to reduce stress. Some of the things that you can do, which I've been through a lot of stressful things, especially in the last 4 years. and we might touch on our personal stuff in a little bit, but things that I use to help pull me out is journaling. So when I can write my thoughts down, they become a lot clearer, and I can really tell what's truth, what's not.
Yeah. Well, do you just free write?
I free write.
Okay.
You know, some people really like a lot of structure.
Yeah.
I just free write. You know, so sometimes I'll write my schedule out, you know, briefly, because I'm an entrepreneur and I have to have a schedule, otherwise I do nothing.
Yeah.
But like, what do I do? But then I just free write, and I just like, today blah 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 blah, or yesterday I felt this way, or this happened, or I enjoyed this. So journaling is like my best friend.
Well, do you give yourself any prompts, or do you just go?
No, I just go. Whatever the prompt is, usually like maybe what happened the day before, or what I got coming up for the day and how that's making me feel, or you know, just something that's really prevalent in my life at the moment. Like, I'm gonna be a grandma. Today's the due date.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
Well, hasn't even happened.
Not yet.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I journaled about that and what it means to be a grandma and how I feel about that. And it's just, journaling to me, it's like I'm talking to my best friend. I'm talking to myself.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's something that I just read. I was listening to a book and he was talking about that. I think, being a good friend to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Being a good friend to yourself. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So when you're journaling and you're writing it, do you respond to, maybe if you're having a negative emotion, like let's say you're like, I'm feeling nervous about this. Mm-hmm. Do you talk to yourself in the writing about it?
Yeah.
You know what? It's gonna be okay.
Yep. I'll put why, I might put, why am I feeling this way?
Okay.
And what is there really to be afraid of? So whenever I have thoughts or emotions, I run it by some questions. Is it true? Yeah. And how do I know it's true? Yeah. And will the thought serve me? Yeah. Or not? And then
that's a nice tool right there.
Yeah. So so when I get them on paper, I can really see them. And then I also, during journaling, but you don't need to journal this, but you can just say it in your head or out loud, is I write 3 things I'm grateful for. So if I start my day in an attitude of gratitude, it is almost guaranteed to bring you peace throughout your day.
Okay, I heard the way to you do the 3 that you're grateful for, and then I heard text somebody and tell them what you're grateful for. If you want to do bonus.
Yeah, you
could really take it over the top of that. I think
yeah.
You know what?
So that's cool.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's
really
cool.
Good.
Yeah, so if you want to put in the comments what you're grateful for, that'd be awesome, and share them with everybody else.
Yeah.
Or just write it in your journal, or call up a friend, or whatever. That's a great idea. Because it's just energy spreads. We can spread positivity, or we can spread all the negativity.
It makes that person feel good, right? They kind of have a different beginning to their day, right? Yeah. That's nice.
So the journaling, the gratitude practice, I like to meditate. So I just use 5-10 minutes of my morning, and I meditate, and which that just means sitting with my thoughts. It could be guided, could be music, I could be doing breath work, and I'll take you through a small little exercise here in a second on the breath work. But
okay, dude, you gotta do a breath work video.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll do a breath work video. But so meditation helps me become the observer of my thoughts. So it's not like you're trying to get rid of your thoughts. You're just learning to see them and let them flow by. You might have heard this in another video that I've done, but thoughts are to mind as clouds are to the sky. So what that means is when we look in the sky and we see clouds, they're not the sky, they're the clouds. And the sky is the space that holds the clouds. And our minds are not our thoughts. Our minds are the space or the consciousness that hold the thoughts. And so when we can realize that we're not the thoughts, that we're the space that holds the thoughts, then and that's a universal connected space that we're all in.
Yeah.
Then it becomes way more powerful to be the observer and not the emotions and thoughts, because then you could start to control them. You could choose the ones that serve you, let the ones that don't float by. And that's what a meditation practice helps me do, is learn to sit there and look at the thoughts going by and learn to like pull myself out from them really quick.
And do you use them? Do you ever like find one that's like, I don't know, like a thought goes by that's like a real like high gratitude thought?
Yeah, useful thought.
Do you like grab it and like say like,
yeah,
boom, and then have like a little smile or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you let the ones float by that you don't want, and you can think on the ones that you like. But with the meditation, I try not to do that. Like certain meditations, maybe, but that's with the meditation, I'm in training my brain to slow the thoughts down and not think all the time. So I might save it for after the meditation and write about my meditation. Because
so you journal your meditations.
I might.
Sometimes?
If I have a thought that's coming up that I like, oh, I like that thought, I'll still let it float by, because that's what I'm practicing, is letting things just go by and become the observer of the thoughts during meditation. Yeah. So that's a way. What?
Look, I'm just enjoying it.
Awesome. So okay, and then you're writing these down, because if you only do a couple of these, implement a couple of these activities, are going to change how you go about your day. So journaling, gratitude practice, meditation, breath work, creating something like art or coloring. I have a color book that I color. Anything creative puts you in a meditative state, and puts you in that like flow state where you're not. We want to try to get out of thinking about future and past, because most of our thoughts are negative, and they're mostly all about worrying about the future or ruminating about the past, and they're never about here and now. When you're doing art, or you're creating, you're building something, or anything creative, you generally are into that flow state where you're present moment. So that's really good to start to train your brain too, and it makes you happy. Music.
Here's what's so cool about all these. Like, they're either like somehow allowing you to control your body.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right? Or control your mind.
Yes.
Right?
Which is the same.
Yeah.
Too.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it. They kind of play with each other, right? They are like connected.
Right?
Yeah.
So
you can like kind of think about that, like moving your body and increasing the energy in your body and doing something changes where your mind is.
It does.
I noticed that with running.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'll be like, oh, I'm kind of tired or whatever, but if I start running,
all these wonderful endorphins are being released, and all these chemicals are being released, and then all these feelings of well-being, because you're doing something for yourself, you're nurturing yourself. And so just the thought of doing that for yourself too, and the physical things, biological things that happen in the body. So that was another one, was workout, running, lifting weights, doing yoga, anything to move your body, and then walking in nature. So if you implement any of those into your life, it's going to start to change it. So a regular walking practice, or workout practice, or gratitude journal practice. You have to do. You can't just keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Right.
So if you're stressed, if you're anxious, and you're just feeling negative about things, whatever, you have to do something to change it.
Yeah, and
otherwise
you
it
can
won't.
start small here. It could be one thing. You could literally just if you're feeling that feeling coming where you're feeling stressed, you could just say, okay, wait, I'm feeling that negativity or whatever. I'm going to write something I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Or
you could do breath.
Yeah, breath work. You could go for a walk around the block.
I'm going to do breath right now, like just a small little, just a couple, like not even a minute. So whenever you're feeling stressed out, all you need to do is, you could be driving, don't close your eyes, If you're sitting, you can close your eyes, but you just take a deep breath in, exhale it slow, feel your body melt, and take a deep breath in. Exhale it out nice and slow. One more time, full breath in. Exhale out, slow. 3 to 5 breaths, more if you want.
All right.
Put you down.
Yeah, it brings you down. But let me just say something about this breath work. It's so funny. Like, you know what I thought about is I sometimes find myself like certain emotions, I just love the feeling of them. Like, I love actually feeling pissed off.
Yeah.
You
They're
know,
addicting.
So, yeah, they're addictive. They're addictive. Okay, like,
emotions are
oh,
addicting. Drama.
You know, like
is
once
addicting.
I'm kind of like already like a little bit
Mm-hmm.
mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, yeah, I could take like 3 breaths, right? But it's like I need more than that actually. Like I need, you know what it is? Like notice this. I really need more time to let the chemical.
You hit the pavement.
Yeah.
And run.
But let the chemicals go.
Yeah.
Like because you have to remember, like all these thoughts that come to your mind, they like come down to like there's like chemicals in your brain that are like creating it.
That's
like,
right.
There's actual like a physical.
The body feels it first and then
Yes.
creates the thoughts.
Yes.
So the body starts to take over.
Yes.
Where the body will feel it first before you even have the thought.
Yes.
It becomes so entrained in us, and our body just does the reaction. It's kind of like Pavlov's effect.
Yeah.
You know, when bells ring, the saliva comes,
Yeah.
and then I'm hungry, right?
Yeah.
So the body can tell the mind what to think, but we can change that. We want to control our bodies and our minds. So these practices will get you there. It's a choice. It's a choice if we want to stay addicted to the stressed out environment where thoughts are always pinging off our head and we're go, and I got to do this, and oh, what about what's going to happen tomorrow or next year, and oh my gosh, this happened in my life before, and so-and-so's doing this, and I'm stressed out, and or we can like chill it out and put into practice the stuff that will help us.
Yeah.
And take out the stuff that's not helping us. Like, I got jacked up on coffee so much the other day. I had 2 cups of coffee, but it was like, it's called death wish because it's the only thing. I was out of coffee, and it was 9 o'clock at night, and the only thing that could be delivered from Amazon in the morning by the time I woke up was this death wish coffee. So I called it.
Okay, wait. You ordered Death Wish, and then you were like, what? Over caffeinated?
Yeah.
It's called Death Wish.
I know. So you know what I did though? Because my son he was with me, and I was like, I'm so stressed out, and I was in the car, and I was just like, there's this podcaster that I listen to, Todd Pellamuter or something like that. I'll put a link in because he's cool. Anyways, his voice just comes.
Did it calm you down?
And he talked. It's the pathway to peace.
You had 2 cups? Will you still have some?
What?
Death Wish, you still have some?
No.
Oh, you drank them?
I listened to a lot of the Todd's podcast, Pathway to Peace.
Well, did you amp it back? Did you just have like a small cup, or
Just
did you
one cup?
keep doing
I didn't have 2. No, I didn't have 2. But yes, so there's a choice, and you know, it's my hope to like teach the tools I have, because I've been through some stuff. I mean, I went through a divorce 3 years ago, and I've never been on my own ever. My first marriage, I was with him since I was 15. We were married 25 years, together 23, and then I split up for a year, but had kids with me, and then I got with my second husband. And I've never lived alone. So when I got divorced and left him, I was alone. First 2 years, I did not know what to do with myself. It was so crazy. And I was worried about finances. I was worried about my retirement. I was worried about this, worried about that, because, you know, it's like, and I had to really grasp on to my tools. Otherwise, I would have lost it.
Yeah.
And it sometimes, you know, sometimes it takes a while to get through certain things.
Yeah.
But all these tools,
yeah, it can bring you back.
Bring you back and can help you out. So there's really, it's a choice. You don't have to do it. And if you need help, just, you know, message me or reach out to a friend, but, you know, message me and
yeah,
I can steer you somewhere and talk to a friend. You don't have to be in this stressed out space.
you can be less stressed.
You can be less stressed. Yeah, and like just learning how to pull out quicker from it is key. Because it's like, you know, I can say I get stressed out every day, you know, but maybe it's for 5 minutes and then pulled out. It's like, oh yeah, what do I do?
Yeah,
Breathe. Oh, okay, what am I grateful for? Because I can't think of anything right now. Everything's wrong, you know. Write down what is right. Jeez,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and you might have to do that actually. Like kind of like trigger a little inspiration, right? I think that's really good to hit on, right? Because sometimes when the prompt is like, what am I grateful for? You're in like a really bad space. You might not. So you got to like induce. You got to inspire it.
Yeah.
Like.
Yes. Some days.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes I have a whole grateful day.
Oh yeah.
So and what that means is like I will like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna have my whole day. I'm gonna do a gratefulness practice. So I'll wake up. I'm like, thank you for the alarm that woke me up, so I can get to my clients on time. Turn on the light. Thank you for the light. Flush the toilet. Thank you for this sewer system.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how many people don't have that? Thank you for the hot water. It's like there's so many things to be thankful for, and we get so caught up in the things that, you know, are bothering us, or, you know, it's like look around.
We overlook it.
Yeah.
There's so much. There's so much positivity, like so much goodness.
Life can be really simple.
Yeah.
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 So, anyways,
I think it's great.
I think this is a good wrap.
I think some good tips.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my next podcast I might want to, I think we're going to do it on manifestation and the law of attraction and what that means, at least what it means to me. And yeah, because that's buzzwords out there, so yeah, look for that.
Yeah. Exciting.
But yeah. But thank you all for joining. And yeah,
Thank you.
thank you for doing this with me. It was your idea. See, you're a coach. You are a coach. She's like, I'm not a coach. I'm like, you are.
Coach, dude.
You're inspiration. Okay, thank you. See you guys next time. Say bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, bye.